All right, this one is going to be about being four-pointed, man. This is going to be about four-pointed. If y'all know what four-pointed is, put it in the comments. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping. Let's do what we do over here at Unique Mecca Audio. All right? This was about being four-pointed, man. Sit back, enjoy the ride. I told y'all yesterday about how I was doodle mouth. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't hide nothing because I ain't got no time for that bull crap. I did what I did, and that's what made me the man who I am today. Now, this is about being four-pointed. Now, I'm going to lead up to that because I'm going to ride. Y'all like when I ride, right? Y'all, all right, let's click that and hit the gunshots. Now, I'm going to ride, you know. I'm in the joint, right? I'm in the joint in this was like 94, you know what I mean? Early 94, you know, down in Virginia Beach, you know. I started, well, they said I allegedly started a riot down there in Virginia Beach. Now, I'm down there in Virginia Beach and they keep bringing these hot niggas in the pod that I'm at. Because, you know, this is how Virginia Beach was set up, so you understand. And Portsmouth and, what's the other one? Gloucester County was for the rats. You know, that's where they kept the rats at, Gloucester County. Over at Gloucester County in Virginia, they didn't have a kitchen in the prison because it was a little small county jail that really housed people that, see how to put it, you know, speeding tickets, DWI, you know, little misdemeanors. So they didn't even have a cook there. So they ordered the food from a local deli that was connected to somebody in the prison. It might have been the warden's niece or nephew or son or somebody with them, but they ordered the food. So they come around with a menu the night before and take, you know, your order, what you want for breakfast, what you want for lunch, and what you want for dinner. So you tell me, I want some scrambled eggs, you know, waffles, you know, with blueberry syrup and strawberry syrup. And this is how they living. But, you know, that's Gloucester County. You know, those were the dudes that was testifying against the big men like me. The big men like me, they kept us over in Virginia Beach and they put us all on one tier. So they put us all on one tier because we what they call the stand-up men. You know what I mean? The men that's going to stay 10 toes down. Big shout out to my man 10 Toes Down. Let's give 10 Toes Down a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, relax. I give him a round of applause, you know, so you understand. You know, I recognize other YouTube channels that I watch that I enjoy because this is all entertainment. What I'm doing is entertainment. It ain't for no disrespect or nothing like that. But I give 10 Toes Down his props because, you know, I was talking to him and I was telling him about being four-pointed. And he didn't know what it was, you know. But he did his time in the state. So in the state have different types of punishments. So tonight, I think tonight, you know, I'm going to ask my brother 10 Toes Down to come up here to tell about the different punishments that they had in the state compared to the feds, because we had 4-point, they didn't have 4-point. So I want to find out what they use as a means for breaking a nigga. You know what I mean? When, you know, you was unruly, you know? But I'm over there in Virginia Beach, and they start sending, like they'll just put, when the dudes first get locked up, they put them on a tier to show you how it works. They put them on a tier with us because they got a federal charge. Then once they talk to their lawyer, they talk to the prosecutor, and they decide to flip, you know, they'll come call them out the cell and take them out to be debriefed or whatever. They give their statements, and once they give their statement, they take them and they eject them from our unit, you know, and put them in a whole nother unit, maybe Gloucester County, maybe over in Portsmouth, but Portsmouth, county jail was official too. But the other rat jail that they had down there during my time, I heard they got a federal jail down there now. So if anybody in the Norfolk Tidewater regional area, let me know if they got a federal jail yet. But at the time, they didn't have one, so they put us in all the neighboring, town like Chesapeake, Portsmouth, Suffolk. Suffolk was for the rats also. So you had the rats in Suffolk and the rats in Gloucester County at the time, and Portsmouth and Chesapeake and Virginia Beach. They had the men that was standing 10 toes down. That's why I gave my man, 10 toes down his props, and a shout out and his round of applause because, this is where they put us that was 10 toes down. So now they got me in the joint and they bringing these dudes in and they last a couple of days when they first get arrested, because they, want them to be around us that's looking at forever and a day. So they say, man, I'm not trying to be like that, them crazy dudes, So when they bring them in there with us, they there for a couple of days. They see how aggressive we are in the pod. And then they say, I got to get out of here. So in order to get out, they call a lawyer, tell the lawyer that they want to work with the government and they want a deal. Let's make a deal. So they go make a deal with the government. And the government shoots them over there to Gloucester County over in Suffolk. You know what I mean? The whole jail in Gloucester County and Suffolk is all government informants. Those are all the dudes that's agreeing to testify against their comrades. Those are all the scumbags that gunshots to the scumbags that testified against their family members. Not promoting it. But if you decide to go on the street, you got to be a man and stand on your morals and principles and look out for your comrades the same way you would want your comrades to look out for you. You wouldn't want your comrades to tell on you, so it's no need for you to tell on your comrade because you wouldn't want it done to you. Bottom line. Now, so they start taking these dudes out of there and they bring this one hot dude in that came back, that was going to testify against somebody. So when they bring dudes back that's going to testify, they mix them in all these different jails, including Virginia Beach. So when they come back, they're giving us excuses and reasons why they're back. They got a new case. It's normally the main one. Oh, they charging me with a body. They brought me back from FCI such and such or from camp such and such. But they putting them around a man like me looking at life plus 20 because I got 255 keys to 330 keys of crack cocaine. So I got no choice but to get life. That's why they asked me, how did I feel when they pronounced my sentence? It was no need for a feeling because I knew I was going to get it. Bottom line, So I had to buckle down and stand 10 toes down. You know what I mean? And be ready for whatever they had to offer because these are the choices that I chose to make. So these are the rules that I have to honor. Now, they bring these dudes back and they bring this one dude back and, he ratted on a few people already. So they already knew he was a rat, So they were scared that the government was scared that he wasn't going to testify. So they threw him in the pod with us so that they could spook him. You know what I mean? But they was planning on leaving him in there for the night. So when they bring him up in there for the night, somebody told me, somebody told me, yo, dude is a rat. He testified against such and such, such and such, and got him life in jail, and he coming back, so that mean he rat, So allegedly, I whooped him out that night. Whooped him real bad, you know what I mean? And I'm really showing the other brothers from the Tidewater area, this is how we treat the rats. You know what I mean? We don't give the rats no play. As soon as you find out he's a rat, you stomp him out. So I went and I stomped dude out. You know what I mean? So now after I stomped dude out, the next day, because they took it, it was like 1, 2 in the morning. You wait till the shift change and everybody sleep, let him think he get a good night's sleep. Then I ran up in the cell, snatched him up off his bunk, dragged him out in the day room, and I whooped him. And in Virginia Beach, if y'all was in Virginia Beach back then, they don't have a police in the pod. The police make rounds every 15 minutes. So right after the police made rounds, I already told my homies, I'm getting ready to whoop this dude out. And they said, yeah, let's go stomp him out. I said, nah, ain't no let's. I don't need none of that, my nigga. You know what I mean? I don't need no more co-defendants. I didn't know these dudes anyway. No disrespect to them. So I said, nah, I got this. So police made the rounds. I grabbed the dude. I pulls him out. And I get to whooping him. He running all around the tail. I'm stomping him, and everybody's screaming and yelling and ooh, and they cheering. But I wasn't worrying about the cheers or doing it for the cheers. I was just doing it for the honor of the game. You put a rat around me? I punished this dude so bad, stomped him out, head swole up this big, looked like Martin fighting Hagler in the Martin Lawrence show, you know? So now, when the police come, I told him after, I said, go rattle the gate, nigga. Rattle the gate means stand on the gate and wait for the police. I wasn't trying to kill him or nothing. Yeah, I just wanted to punish him to let him know that it's real, you know? So I tell him, go rattle the gate. So he rattling the gate, police come through, they get him. And when they get him, he goes out and, of course, he tells that it was me that whooped him, you know? So the next day they come in to come try and extract me from the unit. So when they came and called my name, I don't come out the unit for nothing. Because when they call your name at that gate, it's because you're going down to be debriefed, you know, by the United States attorney to tell something. You know what I mean? Or for them to try and flip you to tell something. So I'm not flipping. I'm not telling nothing. So you got no reason to call me out the unit. They already know that. Because they tried once or twice to call me out, and I always said, nah, I'm not going nowhere. You know what I mean? Oh, no, it's the medical. Nah, well, tell the doctor to come here and tell me. Oh, it's the dentist. Well, you tell the dentist to come here and bring his, you know, his drill. You know what I mean? Let me know that it's the dentist, because I'm not even going to go out and play these games with y'all. So this is how I carried it. So dudes respected my gangster, and they was falling into place the same way, you know, people look up to something and, you know, they be a part of the movement. So now I got a nice little team that want to be a part of the movement, but I got to show them the same way I show my comrades on the street that I'm not going to ask you to do nothing that I'm not going to do myself. So I'm not going to ask you to stomp out a dude because he's a rat. If I'm not going to stomp him out because he's a rat, and I don't need y'all to help me stomp him out because he's a rat, because if I catch a rat by myself and you're not around, I got to stomp him out by myself. So let me get my practice. Round of applause to my practice. Round of applause to my practice. So now this is how they got dude, right? The next morning, about 12 o'clock in the afternoon, right after they feed lunch, they come back and they call me and tell me that they, you know, need to see me. You know, so I go to the gate, I said, what is it? They said, nah, we need you to step out the pod for a minute. I said, step out the pod? I said, didn't I tell you crackers I don't step out no pod? I got nothing to say to y'all. Anytime I come out this pod, it's to go to see the judge to deal with the fight, and that's it. So if it's not my lawyer and it's not for a court hearing, don't come call my name. So now they're telling me it's an order. You must come out. They're giving old gangsters like me an order. An order? Who the hell are you to order me to do anything? I was on the very streets with you, and you never looked at me, much less ordered me to do anything. So take your order, shove it somewhere, and if you think you want to take me out of here, you got to come in and get me. You know what I mean? You remember the old James Cagney movie, Come In and Get Me, Copper. That's how I was feeling. Come in and get me, copper. You know what I mean? But it wasn't no movie, you know? So they leave and they come back. And when they come back, they bring about 10, 15 police lined up all outside the gate, and they calling my name, and they talking about it's an order, this the first order, this the second order, this the third order. I'm not trying to hear none of that crap. I'm not coming out. You know what I mean? They said, all right, well, we coming in to get you, nigga. I said, oh, well, bring it on then. So now my little soldiers that was rolling with me, that was liking the movement, they all ready. They said, like, yo, what we gonna do, Black? They call me Black Day. You know what I mean? I didn't even tell them my name was unique. You know what I mean? Because you don't know who gonna wind up flipping one day and go out and never come back. You know what I mean? So they called me Black. They said, like, what you gonna do, Black? I said, man, I'm not going nowhere. They said, well, that's what it is. I said, a matter of fact, you know what I mean? Get the water. You know what I mean? So we went and filled up the garbage cans with the water, the same way I did it a year later in Lewisburg, allegedly. You know, filled up the bucket with the water. We threw the water all on the floor. Before we threw the water on the floor, we threw the shampoo all on the floor. You know, we got shampoo everywhere. You know, everywhere. And then we throw the water on it, you know what I mean? And we smearing the water around to make it bubbles, you know what I mean? Y'all know why I did that? Put it in the comments. I'm not going to hold the story down, but y'all keep it 100 if you know why I threw the shampoo on the ground and put the bubbles, because I taught y'all this when I told you about the Lewisburg joint. So when we did that, I'm going to speed up. I might even have told you about this little bullshit ride, but this wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? This is a little minor joint. So we throw the joint around, and here come the police come up in there. So now when they come up in there, that's why I'm wearing orange today, because they gave us an orange jumpsuit like you see on TV with the orange flip-flops. And that might be why I hate them flip-flop wearing niggas. I hate a flip-flop wearing nigga. You know what I mean? Maybe this is why. So I got my little flip-flops on up in there. So now when the police come in there, we get to fight. You know what I mean? They trying to extract me. They come in with the riot gear, and they had these big ass electric batons. They just came in. Y'all look it up. In 1994, the feds introduced the electronic batons. That's so that when they walking you, they can stay away from you. And they, because they used to put me in a straitjacket like I was crazy. Do I look crazy to y'all? Do I look crazy to y'all? Do I look like I need to be in a straitjacket? Now, I'm looking in the camera. Do I look like I belong in a straitjacket? Thank you. Now, they put me in a straitjacket, and while they walking me to the court, they got about 4 police behind me, 2 in the front and 2 behind. They got these long-ass batons that on the tip is a little metal rod, and they hit you with that metal rod, and it shoots like 15,000 volts in your body that brings you to your knees. You know what I mean? This is how this is what they implemented in the prison system, right? This is what the feds first brought in, so they had it in Virginia Beach. So we up in the joint, and they come in with their little batons and all that, and we all waiting, and we got our joint wrapped up. I done took, my sock, put it on my hand, took my T-shirt, wrapped it around my hand, because I'm ready to turn it over on. I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to turn it. I'm ready to work. You understand? Just keeping it 100. So now I got my sock on my hand. I got the T-shirt wrapped around it to protect my knuckles, and and try and slow down the effect of these electronic batons. But I didn't know it was electronic batons at the time. I just knew it was batons. You know what I mean? Them big ass sticks. You know what I'm talking about. So now we up in the joint. I gotta give a gunshot. I gotta give a gunshot. I gotta give a gunshot. Gotta give a gunshot. All right? So now we up in the joint, and they come in there deep. So when they come in, they bust the gate and they all come running in, and we fighting them and we going at it. And then of course, I fought my way out my flip-flops. Damn, I hate them flip-flops. Now I ain't got on no flip-flops. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sitting here barefoot on the floor with this cold water that I done threw down with this shampoo, and the police is coming in and they trying to swing the baton and they sliding all over the place from the soap on the ground. Yes, that's why I put the soap on the ground. So now, allegedly, we fighting and we rumbling, and police falling and they falling. I'm jumping on them. I was hitting them with my joint with the socket and the T-shirt wrapped around, and I'm pounding them with my fist like it's a hammer. And they swinging and kicking, and the other ones is busting me all in the head with the baton, and I couldn't even have stopped I didn't have time to stop to think about the pain, but I'm fighting, for my life, for my rights, for my manhood, for the hood. So you understand. Gunshots. Now, so this is what it is. So now I'm barefooted, I'm fighting, and I got them on the ground. My homies got them on the ground, allegedly, and we're whooping them. We're getting the best of them. So now they never had no, listen, they didn't even have they didn't even have a goon squad. They just put together a bunch of police. Some of them was small, some was big, but when you went to the penitentiary, they got these big ass police. But now they got these little police up in there, and we going at it. We going at it. So we on the ground rolling around this water. I'm filthy wet. I got soap all in my joint. I even got soap in my eyes and I couldn't see. I just didn't want to wind up hitting one of my homies when I had to wipe my eyes and swing because a baton hit me in the back of the head, and I just turned around and cold cocked in the direction the hit came from. I didn't want to wind up hitting one of my homies, but of course I did, and they hit me too. A couple of homies bust me in the head thinking I was one of them. But it's all a part of the jungle. That's why I said don't get involved in this. Don't go to prison. Stay in school, man. Go get a job, man. You know what I mean? It's better than dealing with what I'm talking about. So now we dealing with this joint. So being that they losing, you know, one of the police, you know, I hit him so hard, caught him dead on his joint, and I turned it. And when I hit him, he fell out and his baton fell in the water. When his baton fell in the water, I felt a jolt of lightning go through my body. I'm like, oh, the joint electrocuted me. I jumped out the water and jumped on the bars like a monkey on monkey bars. But the electricity was going through the water, the bars was in the water, and the bars was electrocuted. And I didn't have on my damn flip-flops because I done fought my way out the flip-flops. Could you believe that crap? But it's all a part of another day in
Mecca what? Mecca audio.
In the Mecca audio. You know what I mean? The life of Mecca audio. Now, so one of the police yelled, "That's it. That's it." I'm thinking that's it mean they gonna surrender and we won. He said, "Drop the batons. Drop the batons." And these son of a bitches, they dropped about 15 batons in this water. They got on rubber boots. We done fought our way out our flip-flops. We barefooted. We laying down on the ground, fighting them in the water, rolling around. You understand what I'm saying? We getting electrocuted. Police getting electrocuted. Everybody getting electrocuted for these batons. So all they had to do was stand up. They got their rebel boots. We stand up. We got no flip-flops. I hate flip-flops. I hate flip-flops. So you niggas wearing flip-flops, I hate you too. I hate you flip-flop wearing niggas. Because you're not respecting the game. How you going to protect yourself in flip-flops if something happened? Let's stop the crap. So I'm sitting there and I'm electrocuted. I'm rolling around like a wet chicken. You know what I mean? In the snow. Like I fell in a pond of ice and it cracked in. I'm shaking in the joint. They got me. You know what I mean? And then, of course, they came in. Boop, 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 boop. They bust me all up in the head. You know what I mean? And then they took me up out the joint. You know what I mean? So I won the fight because I fought back. You know what I mean? But I lost the fight because they won the fight. You know what I mean? But we were both winners. You know? So now they take me out the joint and they bring me down there and they put me. They had a chair they wanted to put me in. So they was gonna handcuff me to a chair where I was supposed to sit in the chair butt naked, you know what I mean, for hours and defecate on myself, you know? But this was the marshals involved. So the marshals said, no, 4-point him. I'm in this chair and I'm just sitting there in this chair, you know? Can't move, got my hands strapped to the chair, my feet strapped to the chair, and I'm sitting up comfortably. You know what I mean? So when they come in, I'm laughing at them. I'm like, oh yeah, I know you had the mask on, but you the one that I bust in the face. Remember when I hit you with that garbage can when you came in? And now they pissed off that I'm reminding them that I was fighting them back. You know what I mean? So now the marshals come down there and they like, man, we gotta hurry up and get this one to trial so we can give him his life sentence and get him the hell out of Virginia. You know? So now they speeding up my trial to get me to go to trial. So they said, you know, 'cause they left me down there for about a day. So now they said, well, we're going to let you out. You're going to go back upstairs. You ain't going to cause no problems for you. We're going to put you in another unit because you had too much influence in the unit that you was in. I said, I don't care where you put me. You're not bringing no hot niggas in my block. Whatever block you put me in, you keep them hot rat bastards out my block. And they said, oh, yeah, we got something for you. So next thing you know, they take me in what they call it, a solitary confinement cell that had a cement block on the ground. The cement block on the ground had 2 rings down at the bottom and then 2 rings at the top. So when they wheel me in there in this chair, you know what I mean? And I keep it 100. Like I said, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, you know what I mean? They had me in the chair handcuffed and shackled for about a day and a half and figured that was gonna break me. So by then, I done defecated on myself. I done urinated on myself. I done threw up on myself because they beat me with the baton all in my stomach. So when they hit me in the stomach, boom, I'm throwing up, but I'm strapped in a chair. And I'm butt naked. I'm throwing up all over myself. I'm defecating on myself. I'm urinating on myself. So if you youngins want to keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. And if you think you want to just be a rat bastard and you're going to go in and do a sweet bid, it don't happen that way, my nigga. Because even the rat bastards that was in the unit that we didn't know was rat bastards at the moment, they wound up getting their ass beat too when they came in there. Because when they come in to extract the whole unit. They're not saying, oh, he's a rat, he's one of us, to leave him alone. No, they beating everybody because they don't know when the rat might feel that he want to flip and be a man. You know what I mean? So they got me wheeled in this room, and I'm looking at this concrete slab with these two little round metal hooks on the bottom and at the top. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell are they going to do with that? Okay, so what is this? Y'all know what that was for? Put it in the comments. So I'm like, what the hell is this? And then out of nowhere, you know what I mean? They said I'd unstrap them. So I said, oh, I bet they're going to take me back upstairs. They done gave up, you know what I mean? I done won the fight, you know what I mean? They took my cuffs off that was held me down by this in the chair and put it behind my back. Then the shackles that I had on each leg of the chair to my ankles like this, they took them off and handcuffed my feet together where now my feet is like this. Shackles is where you got a little piece of wire in between and then the handcuffs on the outside so you could walk. You know what I mean? See, I'm giving y'all a description. That's why I said, man, the Cash App is dead, man. As a matter of fact, hold up, man. That's so y'all understand. I don't care about the haters I'm talking about Cash App. Man, this game is to be sold, not told, nigga. Go somewhere else. Special announcement, man. This is what my Cash App look like. It must have that green checkered box to the right of my name. No picture of me, none of that. This is exactly what my Cash App look like once you put in unique Mecca Hall and you get ready to send it. It must have that green checkered box. Let's get this thing going. All right, so that's where we at, right? So they got my feet handcuffed together and got my hands handcuffed behind my back, and they picked me up like I'm an old cow, a whole rug they throwing out. They picked me up and they slammed me in the middle of these two hooks at the bottom, two hooks on the top. You know what I mean? And I'm laying there, back hurting, everything hurting from where they slammed me. And I'm looking up at them and said, okay, now what? You know what I mean? So they took their handcuffs off my feet first and then used those same handcuffs, you know what I mean, to handcuff one right ankle to the right hook on the bottom, another handcuff to handcuff me to the left hook on the bottom, and then they uncuffed my hands from the back, held on to one handcuff so I couldn't move it while they wrestled me while I'm fighting them with this arm, and it's like they're breaking my shoulder bone and my collarbone. And I'm trying to swing at them. I'm trying to fight. You know what I mean? And they take my hand and they lay it back on the slab and handcuff my right arm to the right hook on the slab. And then they grab the other handcuff that they was holding and they just click on the other one, and now I'm laying down like Jesus Christ on the cross. Not comparing myself to Jesus Christ for you haters. But I'm laying down on a concrete slab, butt naked, feces everywhere. Cause they didn't even host me down like an old slave on a slave ship. They didn't even host me down from the feces that they had me defecating on myself. So I'm laying there with feces. I'm stinking. I've never smelled nothing bad like that in my life, and this is my own feces. You know how you use the bathroom and, you know, you could sit in there and, you know, you smell it and you smell a little twang in the air, you know? But somebody else walked by the bathroom and said, oh my God, that joint stink. But you don't really smell it that bad. So he said, all right, well, hand me a Black and Mild. So, you know, you get your little Black and Mild, you know, spark up and you blow the smoke to kill the smell in the air. You know what I mean? Or your Newport or whatever. So that's how we did it back then. So now I'm laying down on this 4-point joint, and they left me there for 3 nights and 3 days to continue to defecate on myself. And this is a concrete slab. At least when they had me in the 4-point chair, it had a little hole cut where I would sit at. So when I defecate, it'll at least go in the joint. You understand what I'm saying? But now you're sitting over your feces while you strapped to the chair. And when you're urinating, It depends on what angle your manhood is in. If you're gonna piss on your leg, piss on your thigh, or piss on the chair. And I was there for a day and a half in the chair, and then they put me for 3 days in this 4-point joint, laid back like this. I didn't have nothing better to do but just look up at the ceiling and count the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. Yeah, I remember when I was driving the BMW. Yeah, you know, the wide body, and I met the little shorty in front of Apollo. Oh, she had a fat ass. And I'm sitting there and I'm smiling, reminiscing when I'm locked down, 4-pointed on a joint, and the police come in to check on me, and I'm laying down and I'm looking at the ceiling and I'm smiling, and they go get the psych. They said, this nigga losing it. Gunshots to them thinking I was losing it. Gunshots, gunshots, gunshots. They thought I was losing it because I'm looking at the night smiling, but they don't know I don't figured out a mechanism to not go crazy sitting there, because I don't know when they're going to take me from off this slab for 4-pointed. I don't know what's going on, so I had to occupy my time and stall them out until they got tired. You know, and in the meantime, my family members is calling up there, saying they want to talk to me, and they saying that the joint is shut, that the unit I'm in is shut down, and the phones is off in that unit. So now they pitching a bitch. My family members done came in, they flew in all the way from New York City to see what was going on, and they tell them they can't let them in there. But then, of course, a couple of guards said, yo, they doing something to your boy. They name, man, that's unhuman. There's no way they should be able to get away with it. They got him tied down to a concrete slab in the back. You know what I mean? My family was like, what? So they went right over to the courthouse with the lawyer, boom, and told the judge. So they told the judge, they shoot back over and they come grab me. So now the judge said he want to see me, and when they take me out, they gonna tell me to go take a shower. They told me to go take a shower so I could go to court. Nah, nigga, I'm going to court so the judge can smell my shit. You know what I mean? They know what y'all put me through. And sure enough, I went to the courthouse. You know, they just threw on a jumpsuit on me. I got feces everywhere. You know what I mean? And you know, the crazy part, like I said, I keep it so 100, I'm going to tell you. The crazy part is, when they took me out and told me to go take a shower, I had to use the bathroom. So, because, you know, you try and hold it when you on that 4-point slab, because you don't want to, you know, defecate on yourself, have it all on the back of your thighs and all that. So I'm trying to hold the feces. So by the time they let me out, I go use the bathroom. And when I go use the bathroom, they don't even give me no toilet paper. And I'm handcuffed. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there defecating. So while I'm sitting there and I'm handcuffed, I got my hands on my thighs, you know what I mean? You know, on my waist, you know, where I'm trying to defecate, and there's feces everywhere. I done pissed all on my leg, because, you know, of course, I thought about a couple of girls I done boned, gave me some good head and all that. So I'm laying down 4-pointed manhood, standing up like the Eiffel Tower, you know, or the Empire State Building. And then, of course, now nigga got to urinate. So while I'm peeing, I'm pissing all over the place. You know what I mean? I'm pissing all over the place, laying on my back butt naked, you know. So when they take me there to go see the judge, I'm handcuffed in the black box, but now they want to use gloves. So when they take me in there, and the judge told them to take the handcuffs off, one of the police said, go get some gloves. And this ain't doing no pandemic time. So the judge said, some gloves for what? I'm not going to wait, take the cuffs off. And they're like, no, Your Honor, he has feces on his hands. And the judge said, how does he got his feces on his hands? You know what I mean? And he said, no, because, you know, he used the bathroom because he came in. He said, what does that have to do with feces on his hand? And the judge is trying to figure out what the hell is going on. But they try to downplay. They don't want to say they had maybe, you know, what they did to me. So they making it look like if I used the bathroom and I didn't wash my hands. You know what I mean? So my lawyer said, no, Your Honor, they had him 4-pointed. He couldn't use the thing. I want you to just look. You know what I mean? I just want you to just look at his chest. You know what I mean? You could see, you know, what's been going on. You know? So now the judge opens up my joint, and he sees dried up doo-doo on my chest. You understand what I'm saying? And I know you wonder, how the hell did I get dried up doo-doo on my chest? Okay, all right, I'm gonna give it to you, you know. So now, you know, when they first took the handcuffs off, you understand what I'm saying? I didn't like the feeling on the back of my thighs, so I reached back and I scratched it. And when I scratched it, I'm scratching feces. And then from them taking it off, I felt a little itching on my chest. So I went and I scratched my chest with the same hand I was scratching the back of my thighs with that had the feces on it. And I got feces on my chest, and my lawyer seen it when I came with the jumpsuit over and said, no, we got to sue the judge. They showed it to the judge. Judge had a fit. You know what I mean? Big shout out to the judge. All right, calm down. Big shout out to the judge. But the judge had a fit. He said, oh, no, what the hell went on? You know, so my lawyer read off everything that I told him, and he told them, and he got in the paperwork, and they said, no. You know, you can't do that. And they was like, nah, but he's a federal inmate. We understand that he's in county jail facility, but we can treat him the way they do it in the feds because he's a federal inmate with a federal charge. The judge said, not in my courtroom. You're not going to do this to this man no more. And that's all I needed to hear. Because now I'm going to turn up when I go back. No more 4-point, no more cheers strapped in. I'm going to terrorize these dudes. I mean, terrorize these dudes. Because they can't do that to me no more. And I didn't mind being locked in a little cell. That ain't nothing. When they lock in a little cell, they got a phone right outside the cell. You get to use the phone all day. Collect call costs a lot of money, but at that time they got money, they ain't nothing. It was like $1 a minute. $15 for 15 minutes on the call. Then it hang up and you had to pay another 15. And I sat there on the phone all day just talking to everybody on the street, calling everybody. Collect. You know what I mean? Because you couldn't pay for your calls then. But that's what happened with the 4-point, man. Like I said, you know, look out. Tonight, I'll probably do the show with me and my man, 10 Toes Down, do a live. You know, I don't really be doing the lives because, you know, I ain't got time for that. I like to just pre-record and go about my day. But me and 10 Toes Down may do a show tonight or tomorrow at the latest if I get caught up because I got to go, you know, take a ride, take care of some things. And, make sure you go to Spotify, the iTunes podcast and all that and download the videos, the audio from the videos that I have up on my podcast and go to Roku TV, cop the book of Raw in Harlem. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and stop watching for free. At least subscribe and go download the videos. All I'm asking you, go download the audio for my podcast. Download the audio for my podcast is all I'm asking you. All right, so let me tap out and let me give y'all this little outro. Bang.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Crime.
Can on 26, back on the strip, get it back in the mix. What it means is a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully pop and you put it in all. You cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you go and visit. Then you consider yourself linked in. Sit front row and get juice from a kingpin. I went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. Did not pay attention what was stupid. Talking about the man that probably put his grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and his grand got along. A man that generated millions on the block. Did his time, never squill it to the cops, make an ordeal. Like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top being so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind. Spend a couple bands on the dapper again. You back again, getting green like Pats fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They roaring uptown, the minute they bust down. Now we we on the positive. We got a lot to give. Now you trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish there. But now we're waiting about selling drugs, buying cars, it's about buying property to make the community yard. So we can give back to the youth them, cause they the truth them. And bless up to all of the